On May 7th, we have a new moon happening in grounded, earthy Taurus, the world of form, of beauty, of creation in a body, creation in the physical world. I want to take you through a bit of the journey we've been on over the past couple of weeks, because this is a really clearing and activating and refreshing new moon. And if there's energy that wants to be evaporated, released, I'm going to invite you to lean into the energy of this new moon for a rebirth and a reset. Here's what's happened. 2 weeks ago, Jupiter and Uranus came together, inviting your higher mind, represented by Uranus, to download into your creative power to expand, represented by Jupiter. And this all happened in the arena of Taurus, which is the body, physical life, being here on the planet, nature, beauty, sensuality. So there was a beautiful coming together of your highest capacity to vision and connect and create with your most expansive creative power in physical form. Now, right after this meetup, shortly after this meetup, there is a coming together of Mercury and Chiron. And this is a really beautiful sequence because this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, yes, it opened up so much, and it's a meetup of enormous expansion. But what happens sometimes when we expand as humans, our nervous systems kind of go, oh, and they're not used to it, and they contract a bit. And of course, there's nothing wrong here, and there is a natural rhythm of contraction and expansion that is part of the flow of being alive. It's part of the flow of being human, of being in a body, of having a nervous system. There is always an activation and a release. This is just part of the flow of who you are. And of course, what we want is to continue to move forward and not to get stuck in the contraction. And that's where I believe this new moon can be of enormous benefit and service to your expansion, because it's inviting any places that may have kind of contracted into a little stuckness to breathe all the way through that and come through it and come forward. Let me explain a little bit more. Right after, or I should say, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction happened right after Mercury crossed the North Node. So this would have represented a new bit of seeing where you were headed, some new piece of information or vision about where you're going, what you're up to. So it's like you got the vision, and then this enormous energy of expansion came in. And then again, what can happen when all that expansive energy comes in? We can contract. And here's what's so beautiful is that right after this, there's a coming together of Mercury and Chiron. Mercury represents our thoughts, our communication channel, and Chiron represents meeting the old, wounded, triggered places. When we're working with Chiron energy, we're showing up to those places that might go, ah, and react in the old way, whatever that looks like. And we're meeting it consciously. This is the medicine of Chiron. We're meeting from a new choice. So it's really lovely that after this meetup of your enormous expansion coming into the physical plane, there is now a coming together of Mercury and Chiron, which, being that it's Mercury, it's like an opportunity to see more clearly where those old triggered places are. It's an invitation to be able to look consciously at and allow it to come into your awareness where you're contracting. And Mercury also represents and holds beliefs. So there may be a way that old beliefs are coming up to be released. Beliefs about what is and isn't possible, what's okay for you to have and not. So my invitation is to notice and allow whatever's present for you, because this meeting of Mercury and Chiron, which brings these old places into your conscious awareness, will be exact during the new moon on May 7th. And the other thing that's amazing from an astrological perspective is that this new moon on May 7th happens just a couple of degrees away from where the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction took place. So it's like a meeting of the mind with the old places, invitation to respond in a new way. And then there is this new moon, this rebirth, this coming together of the conscious and unconscious, which is what happens in any new moon. The sun represents our conscious awareness, the moon, our emotional body, and our unconscious world. In a new moon, those two come together. So there is a huge coming together of conscious awareness with this new moon. And there will be awareness of places that have felt whatever is the old stuff that you're releasing. There will be an awareness of that. There will likely be a feelings of that. I'm going to give you a couple of keys from the astrology of this new moon to lean into this energy and move forward in the most helpful way. First of all, first let's remember that Chiron is where we elevate old wounded places to mastery. So know that that is a piece of what's happening now. There's an elevation into mastery levels of whatever you're meeting. Writing and journaling can be powerful right now because whenever we're working with Mercury, we're bringing in our conscious mind, our thoughts in a productive, focused way. So writing to process what you're experiencing may be helpful in bringing things more clear. And the other key, couple other keys for this new moon, Venus is in Taurus. Venus represents abundance. Venus represents money, represents giving and receiving love. Everything about how you give and receive is held in Venus energy. And Venus is very at home in Taurus, where she's placed now. There is a focus on beauty, on sensuality, on creativity from flow and delight and presence and love and giving and receiving. So I will invite you into a noticing of beauty, a noticing of love, a noticing of the heart center and the heart space and giving and receiving deeply. This will be key in moving you forward and moving you through whatever last bits, I want to say, are being worked out for you to receive the enormous benefits of this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So we're activating both mind and heart here, of course. We've got Mercury going with Chiron. We're writing, journaling, becoming clear in our conscious mind of these old places that we're coming into mastery with. We are also sinking into the heart center, into beauty, love, pleasure, deep enjoyment of being here in a physical body, of all the enjoyment of being in this physical world. And lastly, Pluto, the last key here is that Pluto is in a sextile with Neptune, which means that Neptune represents your spiritual practice, your connection to spirit, and Pluto represents the deepest possible transformation. These two are working together productively, and this transit will perfect over the next few weeks-ish. So there is a way that your spiritual practice is working with your capacity for total, complete transformation to allow all the depth of this creative power, of this expansiveness to land fully in your life at this time. Sending you lots of love from my heart center to yours on this beautiful new moon. Please like and subscribe and share if this has been helpful. And I will see you soon. Take great care.